Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions episode 139. We're about to wrap up the Giro. It's stage 20 of 21. We've got 4 climbs left in this tour and then a third time trial of this tour to wrap things up. That, of course, is an area that we've done relatively well on, but we've had our good days and our bad days with Arab today. Hoping for a good day because he does have the race day condition and he's actually got decent support around him. The entire team, all 7 riders, are still on fitness peaks here at this point, and fatigue levels are actually quite low. It is our first Grand Tour of the year, so it's a little bit easier to maintain a high level of fitness, this late into a race. But as we approach the final 5K of the first of 4 climbs, things are looking pretty good. Now, the breakaway today, I actually was going to try to get I tried to get Samuels and Isaacs into that breakaway, and just like the AI loves to do sometimes, it didn't matter who it was a concerted effort to make sure that we could not join the breakaway. We couldn't even, full attack, we couldn't even get separation. So, that being said, the little split here. We need these guys to get back in contact so we can get protection for Arab once again. We were trying to keep things as fresh as possible heading into the second climb. And this group of 60 has not regained contact right now, but they are very close. And there's somebody who dropped back to help out a leader. There we go. Into the next climb. This time I do think, especially now that we just made contact, we're going to have to up the effort a little bit this time. I think we'll up it a little bit more. Tony is the one I had protecting Arab, I believe. How did you get dropped? Okay, as we get over the top of this climb, we'll need to get water one more time. We're down to 84 in the peloton, and we've got to make sure that these guys do not get dropped. They are at the back of the group as it is. So somebody like Isaacs right now struggling. Henoke is starting to struggle. We don't want to lose that gap. Samuels is also kind of suffering the same fate at the moment. 8K to go on this climb. It's clear that we are going to lose a few guys, so gel up on the few that are serving as domestiques right now. We're already down to 74 in the peloton. And Matoni is about to get dropped. We still have 6K to the top. This has been a very difficult second climb. There's going to be a lot less than 67 left here. Shimway about to get dropped. Goes Frigo. Castellec. Chevalier. Yeah, this is about to be a whole lot of riders out the back. And a Shimway needs to push a little bit harder. Otherwise, he's going to be one too. Now the pace starts to lift a little bit. The front group's been caught. There's only 45 left here. A group of 12 riders are trying to regain contact as we speak, and our position is improving. We're going to get a little respite, but we continue climbing. We're inside 2K. Let everyone ride solo for a little bit. Shimway is going to be tasked with getting water here soon. Kemp, let's see if there's a response. There's not. Shimway to get the water. So these are the last 46 riders in contention for this race. Recovery. Arab, Henoke both nearly done. We're not even halfway down the climb yet. Samuels is nearly done. Let's let everyone ride solo for a bit to recover. Oof. And it freaks me out every time it's Matoni. Oh, he's out of the race. It's stage 20. His work was done, but that's not good. That's not good at all. Alright, here we go. At the base, before we begin climbing, we've got 12K to the top of this climb. Definitely shorter. Both of these last two climbs. Okay, we want to protect... Well, we've got to protect our 2 leaders. Even though Hanoch is looking a little fresher than Samuels today. That's just because he's got the insane stamina. Their mountain ratings are actually the same. Okay, we already have 1 rider up the road. Kemp is not a threat. Big Atcher is not a threat. But Godu at 12:17. What is our gap? Barely a minute ahead of that. Let's see if there's a response. Is that the response? Nope, that's another attack. There is an acceleration though. Alright, there is the big time response. Not a fan of the sudden effort there. Kind of tempted to take control, but I'd rather take control on the final climb. Wow, okay. Hate when the game freaks out like that. Top 3, trying to get himself in position to move up, but you know, he's 5 minutes down. Gatcher has been caught once again. Here comes the next acceleration. Rambilla, Broussard, Honore. They're not going to get very far away when we're this close to the top. Short descent here. It's not full recovery kind of territory. But it's 12K. Ashimwe is going to be going first. We're going to gel up for him right now. We're down to 38, chasing the last 3 riders up the road. Like to wait for the gel to kick in. It's also 10K still. It's not short. Overall, Sestria, 11.2K, 6%. There's Matoni finally withdrawing after his crash forever and a day ago. Okay, Shimway gel has already kicked in. We're at 8K. It's all together. If nobody makes a move prior, we'll go at about 6.5. That's looking like a move. It's only a slight difference on when I'm looking to make a move, so Hanoch, no red bar. Can he keep up with Ishimwe? Yes, he can. Ayuso is 4th. He's actually not a threat to me. $4K. Arab's looking strong. Samuels is not. Switch positions. Arab. It's just 21 riders. Nice soft attack. 87. We're clear. Martinez is with me. Will he relay? He will relay. 1.5K. 1.3K. 1K banner. I'm going to sit on. Now it's a front 5. But at 6th overall, this is looking really good on that part. And now attacking for the final couple 100 meters. We're going to gain 4 seconds. Or not. We're going to get nipped at the line. Martinez, Pogacar, Martinez, and then Arab. Evenepoel 5th. Ayuso, Dalat, Kennedy. It's good for our position. Nino, Ezra, some unknown faces here. We've got Hednoke and Samuels both coming. Samuels in 16th is going to finish at a high position today. That's Godu. Wow. And then Hednoke. And then you have Brambilla and Samuels. Dang, that's a bad position for those guys. All right, 1.2K. Ashimwe. It's the last stage. Go. Arab remains in 6th place in a very comfortable position. Kennedy actually jumps from 9th to 7th. And it opens things up. So we've got a 2-minute advantage, but it's also 3 minutes ahead of us. So very, very unlikely to see any sort of changes out there. Pogacar will be battling with Martinez to get 2nd place, and Ayuso and Martinez will battle for 4th, but really that's about it. It's pretty well set in the top 10. Otherwise, Samuels does jump 3 positions to get to 13th, but he's also just 2 seconds ahead of Honore. He's just a minute ahead of Paulus. Pellizzari is only seconds ahead, but we're looking at Samuels being an awful time trialist, and so he, even with an expected daily +6, even if he gets that +5, he's still not likely to put in a terribly good time. But if we can keep him in the top 15 anyway, I'd be really happy with that as a final result, to go along with points for 6th for Arab. With 2 minutes over Kennedy, the under 25s is nearly assured, but we still got to get through that one more stage. Benuna is still on top 10. Hednoke is 11th, or an hour and a half behind their teammate. I find it absolutely wild that after 20 stages and just countless hours of racing, that Hednoke is 43rd overall, Benuna is 42nd overall, and Ashimwe is 41st overall. That is likely to change a little bit today, but it's wild. There's Benuna going past Hednoke, but Benuna pushing harder. We'll have to back off to an 85 here to see out the rest without running out of time. But you can see here, it's very easy to run an 86 overall for all or most of a race. You can see Benuna is going to reach that end. Hednoke, I didn't get it turned down in time, but that's fine. Oh, I did not mean to. How did I get to a 99? Hit a button as I was transitioning between the mouse and the keyboard there with my hand. Benuna is 11th right now, 23 seconds down. Samuels does get that expected +5. Like I said, his base expectation is +6. So even on a -1 draw, he would still get that maximum +5. That's possible. As a terrible time trialist, that helps a lot, especially when you get a bigger boost to prologue than you do to time trial at 16.5 kilometers. You're looking at an almost 50-50 split between what it uses for your time trial and your prologue. So you're averaging out the two. So he's got a 69 and a 73. So that's going to give him a 71 today. A 71's, acceptable level. For the guy that's 13th, and if we're pushing a little bit harder than others, I think it's going to give him a competitive time. He's not going to expect to lose too much ground. He's 84th, 53 seconds down at the first time check, and then we'll get Arab ready to go here. Arab's got a 78.80, so he's got a 79 today. That's definitely not going to win anything. I mean, Evenepoel's got an 84 base, with that more than +4 to it, so we're not beating a guy with an 88, regardless of what his race day condition plus minus is. But Arab could be, in that top 20 potentially. Benuna is. He's still 12th, just 23 seconds down. Samuel's 86 is holding nicely. It's going to get him to the end. It looks like I can get a little bit more out of Arab. We might be able to get him in 87 in the final kilometer or so. And Samuels, we only had to lift just fractionally. 2 minutes 6 seconds down for him. Yeah, not too bad at all. 5K left for Arab. He was 25 seconds down, 43rd overall there. at the midway checkpoint. But pushing that a little bit, oh man, it uses that up fast. I was only able to run that 87 for 400 meters. 50 seconds down. 41st. Yikes on that part. For the stage, Evenepoel has won from Pogacar and Kung. Benuna was 16th. And Sammy Arab was a minute 4 down overall. But like I said, we had a 2 to 3 minute cushion either side of us, which means that's going to be unchanged. He is 6th place. Pogacar did jump Martinez for 2nd. Ayuso jumped Martinez by 1 second for 4th. Arab comfortably, in fact, almost exactly where we were with Kennedy, where we were 2 minutes ahead. Samuels drops 2 spots, 15th. That was kind of what I was hoping to hang on to. We're looking at seconds in it, though. I mean, he's 14 seconds from 12th. 3 positions separated by just 14 seconds. Meanwhile, behind us, it was a 2.5 minute gap. That's unfortunate to be that close, lose that much ground. Yeah, that's what you're going to come to expect with a Mason Samuels, though. It would have been much nicer, circumstantially, if we could have flipped Samuels and Arab and had Samuels going in 6th place with a huge cushion behind, knowing that he was going to lose ground, that he was going to lose time, and then have Sammy Arab there, who would have gotten those 14 seconds better off, and we would have finished 6th and 12th instead of 6th and 15th, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. In the points, Dali ahead of Lenny Martinez, nearly taking it. Mountain Kemp got it on the last stage. Broussard was leading before that. Sammy Arab does win the under 25s. He lost about 10 seconds to Kennedy on that last stage, is all unchanged for Benuna and Henoch and Isaacs. Team classification, we got second, and I think that is really solid. And I do think a 6th place is good. Here's why I think it's good, even though we've done that result a couple times before. And Arab is better than what we had, obviously, last year. He has leveled up. But one, that level up is very minor. Like, we're talking 1 more point. That's not significant. I don't think that's enough to make a huge boost. Now, the support guys around him, okay, they're a little bit better. But the Giro we had a year ago with Samuels, that did not have the depth of field that we had for this Giro. This was a tougher group than what Samuels faced. Also, Samuels went into that, they didn't care who he was. And we attacked in early stages, we went in breakaways, and we won stages, and we took the lead, and they were happy to have us take the lead. So to then get overtaken and drop down the order and finish 6th, I think that's where he finished, was a good result, but nobody else batted an eyelash because they're like, well, he can't time trial and he's not that good, and we got this. He's going to lose time, no big deal. We saw the same thing happen in this race, the chaos, with somebody else. But Arab was not somebody that they wanted to let go on the break. He's a little bit better than Samuels, and especially better as a time trialist, and they took him more seriously. And there were times where I did try to put riders in a breakaway, a few times over this race, and it never happened. That whole AI takes you seriously thing, this time around, they were taking us seriously. So sometimes being better is not always good. Circumstantially, it makes things a lot tougher if they're going to look at you seriously, even though you're a team that literally barely even qualified for Continental Pro. Barely. So we should be utter garbage in comparison, but they don't think of us that way. So there's that factor. Deeper field. We didn't have advantages of being able to attack and get away with it and gain an advantage and then try to hang on. We started on the back foot in this race. We had 3 bad race day condition draws out of the first 4 stages that we participated in, and Sammy Arab found himself way down the order, way behind, and then working his way back. But instead of being able to go in the break and gain a big chunk of time, we found ourselves using the quick simulation. And that quick simulation saw him move up the order and move into a competitive position and squeeze his way into the top 10, where he was no longer in a position once we picked up the mantle again and to go race to be able to gain anything. So to, in the end, have a very comfortable 6th place, 4 minutes ahead of Godu with an 82 mountain, 83 mountain, 80 stamina, 70 time trial, and then, add the difficulty bonus on top of that. Like, his numbers are insane. Was he his team's leader? Could have. And maybe not. Maybe they had dual leaders. I don't know. Either way, we're still looking at a strong field. We use that quick sim a lot. We had chaos. We had a bad position, and we turned it into a solid finish. So I think if things had gone reverse, if things had been like what happened with Samuels, where he ended up in the equivalent position, that was one that everybody felt good about because he just didn't have quality. He was good, and he held on to a decent finish. This one went the opposite direction. We had a good guy with a bad start who then gained to get to that position. If it was flipped, right? If Arab started from a good position and only finished 6th, and we didn't bypass a bunch of stages, and we didn't have all those bad draws, I think I would be disappointed with 6th because of the way it was fought back from a bad position without any breakaway type scenarios to gain that extra 8 minutes because the breakaway took a huge advantage, or gained 3 minutes on a stage from being in an 8-minute breakaway that lost 5 minutes of it, but gained 3 minutes overall, and it was like, woohoo. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that happened with Samuels. None of that happened with Arab. So all in all, I'm happy with a 6th place under the circumstances. We just did a really 2.5 episode Giro. The pacing is such that I'm pretty happy with 6th. I'd like to get into the top 5. Obviously, that's the next step. I mean, we are so close on that. It's clearly not going to happen for La Tour, but maybe La Vuelta, and especially if the field was this deep for the Giro, and assuming that it's crazy deep for the Tour, maybe it's not going to be as bad for La Vuelta. And last year's La Vuelta, in which we took a 6th place, Arab was there, yes, but he did not have the support, and he didn't have the level up. So maybe with stronger support, largely the same team that we have for this race right now is who I'm taking to that one. Matoni, by the way, broke a rib. He'll be out into middle of July, so he would miss the Tour anyway, but he's not one of my guys scheduled for that. I think all in all, 6th is good under the circumstances. Next target is obviously one step higher. Get into the top 5. And maybe, just maybe, a podium before we're done with things here. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.